Welcome Vikings, welcome back. This is Blondie speaking, hope you're all doing incredible. We are back here in Valheim one last time. The thumbnail says it all. This is the Valheim farewell, and what better way to do that, oh poor thing, what better way to do that than a tour of the upgraded base. Yes, this base has been gentrified, nay, it has been completely re-outfitted. My god, there have been big changes. Let's go ahead and take a bit of a view, and we'll start with the perimeter defenses. We finally have a bit of protection surrounding the base. All the way around. What do you want? That was very rude. Moving on. All the way around the base, we have these glorious spikes that are doing a pretty damn good job so far. I have noticed they've taken a bit of a beating in some areas, but They have taken a bit of a beating in some areas, so I'll probably need to set up some repair stations around, but generally speaking, these are doing the job pretty damn well. And we can't just have a video without drama, can we? I'll take it. So this perimeter defense goes all the way around. It is a first line of protection, it's not foolproof. I've noticed that ranged enemies still enjoy attacking this for some reason. It is what it is, isn't it, really? Oh, it does keep the beasties out. No tail on you. Must have been ripped off. So, it does a fairly good job of... There's no gaps in it either, really. The only gaps are at the front. So we'll do a full victory lap before we head in. Okay, you'll notice the dock hasn't changed at all. I kind of ran out of time for that. I would have liked to do a lighthouse on the corner of the island there, but again, it was getting a bit long on the tooth. The gate itself hasn't changed. I probably need to reposition this at some point. Oof, yes. But as you can see, the front yard has been completely reworked. Over here we have our chickens, our killer chickens. We've got all of our produce-bearing stuff, so things like honey. The chooks aren't being fed at the moment, which is why you're not seeing any eggs or anything like that. And our little shed, our little garden shed over there. This is where all of the produce is being, all of the crops and stuff are being harvested, planted and harvested. So basically the whole front yard is just agriculture. I've also planted some vines going up the front, so you probably see that the entire exterior is now grousing. And that's a theme all throughout. So all of the stone, except the flooring and the foundations, was basically replaced with grouston. I had a ton of it, but I still needed to farm a lot more to make all of this work. And you can see that there are also marble pillars at various points. Now these pillars are actually hiding a lot of the joins. So I did put an iron beam, a wood iron pole structure going up here, and that's basically what the marble pillars are masking, so you can't see them on the exterior or interior. I think it works pretty well, and it kind of lends to the overall aesthetic. As you can see, there's also towers. There is a tower at each corner of the base now, so 4 towers. They're all pretty much the same. I'll give you a quick tour. There's nothing really fantastic about them. I haven't really kitted them out or anything yet. I should say yet. But that is a plan at some point. Now, I've added a little bit of flourish on the exterior too, which has allowed the vines to climb up a bit. Now, I was hoping that a bit more of that would happen over here, but it doesn't seem to have, at least not to the same degree. Although the algorithm for this thing climbing is kind of random from what I understand, so it is what it is. I've got some lattice work, some wooden lattice work behind here. That is, as you can probably see, where are we? The ashwood decorative wall. Sitting behind here, plus... I think that was the ashwood as well. Yeah, was the ashwood wall, 45-degree wall on here, just to kind of give it a bit of extra flourish on the outside, or otherwise it looks very barren, which is not the prettiest look, of course. Very brutalist. So just to spice it up a little, add a bit of colour. Outside, well, we have a side gate now, where we can bring in our, hopefully our cart fits through. I didn't actually test that, but if it doesn't, I'll have to rework this. But basically the cart's supposed to come in through here, and this is where all of our processing happens, all of our ore processing. So we've got our charcoal kilns all lined up here, we've got our smelters, and we've got our blast furnaces all out here. And we've even got a chest outside for all of the unprocessed ore to go through. I haven't really bothered with any of that. Plus we've got a chest here, which is all of our charcoal requirements. Any wood that I need to charcoal, I'll dump in there as well. So just convert it all, turn it all over, turn it to charcoal. And of course we've also got the Ida refinery here as well. So I've got a way in, pop some sap in, and I've got some stairs up here that I can drop the brains in. Good times. The roofs have been completely redone as well. They're now using the tarred roof, the tarred shingle, which I thought looked way better. It's way better to use than the grouston. I tried using the grouston, and holy crap, is that just impossible to work with, especially at these sorts of interior spaces. I'm sure you could prop it up and do something fancy with it. I'm sure you could actually get it to work. But given the amount of resource cost, the high cost involved with trying to get this all working, I decided against it. And I don't think it really fit the look as well. I wasn't really that happy with the look. It's a little too angular. There isn't really anything that slants at a less severe degree. So, you know, you've got a 26 degree roof here, which is fairly reasonable for these sorts of roofs. But then you've got this, which is basically not that one. That one there, which is basically like a 45 degree angle. And that was way too severe. It pointed way up in the sky. I didn't like that look at all. So I dumped that in favor of using the tarred roofing. And I think it works better personally. That's obviously just me, but yeah. I'll take you through each of these areas room by room just so you get a feel. You can probably see the flags poking down the bottom here. This is a deliberate design, pretty much across the entire base. The flags are all the same color in each room, and they basically denote what the room is at a glance. So looking from the outside in, I mean, you have to know what the color means, obviously, but looking from the outside in, black indicates the stone portals. And you can see that through all of the doorways. You can see blue in there, we'll get in there shortly. So the stone portals have been completely redone. I've shifted their positioning so that they're stacked a little better and they're angled out slightly to allow for a better fit. But these work pretty well. I'm pretty happy with the way these came out. I do actually need to rename that. That should be AL1-3. There we go. Much better. They've also got signs on them to indicate important areas to connect to. So more iron was something that it's a swamp area that I go to. It had a whole bunch of crypts that I hadn't explored, so there's plenty of iron to plunder, and that's what I've been going to get a lot of the resources for this build. ML1 was Mistlands, sorry. Brain fog. It was Mistlands, and that's where I needed to get some marble. I needed to get some of the Yggdrasil wood, and I didn't really need to get marble. I think I only needed a little bit of marble. And I also took the opportunity to mine some copper to destroy the armor and get copper and iron from all of that. That was really helpful. So having these set up and having them signposted like this makes it really easy. It means that I can condense the number of portals I need, and then using the notes here, because they are, I mean, when you look at them, when you look at the boards, they're all in a single case, pretty much uppercase. But when you actually look at the sign, it'll show you the difference, uppercase, lowercase. I should have just standardized lowercase for everything. It would have made it so much easier. But I did not know that beforehand, so it is what it is. That is the stone portal room. I may add a bit more flourish to this. It is still a bit barren on the walls, and the floor as well. I ran out of resources, basically. Ran out of resources to do a lot of this stuff. So this is just going to be the room that it is for now, and it's all good. I'll take you up into the tower here. All of the towers, this one is structured a bit differently to the rest. The others all have a uniform structure. This one's a little bit different because this was the first tower I did, and I was playing around with the format. As you can see, we've got wisp lights on the way up so you can see what the hell you're doing. I do want to do something with this floor in the middle, but I'm not quite sure yet. Maybe a table and some chairs and stuff, like a guard tower or something, proper guard tower where, you know, guards would sit and chat and stuff during the shift. I've also got, I should probably brought some coal with me. I've also got a hanging fire thing. Everyone loves hanging fire, hanging brazier. Everyone loves hanging fire. I've got a hanging brazier in each of these, and when you light them up at night, they look pretty cool. This is all completely supported with grouston. This one in particular does have iron beam supports, but I didn't do iron beam supports for the rest because I realized that if I just grounded the grouston, that it was more than enough in strength. So if we have a look, Yeah, I mean, this one's really good. This one's really good in terms of strength. That one's a little bit sketchy. I don't think... I can't remember if I put an iron beam on that one. But basically, the towers hold up under their own weight using grouston alone, so I didn't bother putting any iron beams in those ones. I put a little bit of flourish on here, mainly to stop people from just walking out and straight off the edge. Although I did notice that when it comes to attacking from here, the shot will basically go straight into the wall, which is a pain in the ass. And I did toy with the idea of putting just like an extra round on the outside here, just so that you've got a platform to fire down from. Like I said, firing from in here is basically impossible. Anyway, that's the structure of the towers. Like I said, more flourish would be cool, but I'm just kind of... In truth, I'm burnt out on Valheim. I've been spending not only the time allocated for the videos, but my own leisure time, where I'd normally just be playing for fun. I'd be playing other games. There's other games I want to play, and I've been foregoing all of that to try and get this finished, and it's been a real big crunch. And after a few weeks of that, I'm just completely burnt out. I've had enough of Valheim. I want to move on. So that's a me thing. That's no one's fault. It is what it is. But hey, it gives us a little bit to work towards when the Deep North finally drops. The biome for Deep North finally drops. So keep that in mind. I will end up probably doing a mini-series on the Deep North, just to finish out the long play. But that's a thing for another time. This is the revamped teleporter area, the wooden teleporter area. Pretty much same format, so this area is designated blue. Excuse. Designated blue, as seen by the blue banners. And again, you can kind of see the black banners of the other room hanging in, and that was by design, so that you could see at a glance what each room was. Again, we've got signs above each one. I've condensed a lot of stuff. So all of the farming stuff, basically, I've condensed into one portal. We've got the home portal here, which should always be available, and I do need to reassign the one in Ashlands, because that should be called something different. We've got the spawn and the final base portal. I do need to go to the final base this episode, so I will uncover what that is, or what it was supposed to be. Maybe I'll finish that off again when we come back and do the Deep North. So it's still open, but I will explain what it was, just in case not. All of the shops I've uncovered. This is its own separate portal, and this is kind of an all-purpose portal, so anytime I've needed to go back for anything in particular, in this case, get some food. In this case, it's set up for PL1, which was Plains 1, and I needed to go there for extra fine wood. So it's kind of this is an all-purpose portal, and I'll add to that as we go, but these two are the most important ones, which is why they're listed on the wall here. I've decided to store the ship parts here, because typically what happens is we identify where we want to launch from, which is a teleport away, and then we assemble the ship at location, and then we sail. And probably need to do that a whole lot less now that we've got access to the stone teleporters, but anyway. This is the exploring gear. This was the chest that held all of the stuff I would typically take out on expeditions, or stuff that was reusable whenever I needed it frequently enough to not put it in regular storage. As you can see, I've cut down on the amount of stuff that was in that and stashed a lot of it. These are just temp stashes, as the name says. This is the exploration dump stash. So whenever we just want to run through the portal, dump our stuff, and then head straight back into the action, these are our temp stashes, and those are the ones that you sort out at the end of each episode, or the ones that I did anyway. That's the teleporter room. Let's head into the crafting room, which is orange. As you can see, we do a little victory lap. We have crafting benches all around the outside. And I've added a bit of flourish here. I've got some marble benches here for the Golda table. I've put a little bit of flourish here. We've got some skeleton trophies. We've got one of the skulls there, the Ashland skulls. We've got a fueling totem, just to kind of fill out that arcane look. I wasn't quite sure how to flourish this one, though, the artisan table. All of the stuff that I wanted to put on stands here, I couldn't. There's a lot of regular items. I don't know why they do this either. I don't know why you can't just put regular items on a stand, but you can't. There's a heap of stuff I wanted to put on here, but you can't do it. And it makes no sense, because they've all got 3D models, and you should just be able to place them. I don't get it. Anyway, I couldn't attach anything, so I just kind of left that bench blank, but that was for flourish. So I just kind of left that. Everything is with its own upgrades and stuff, so everything's kind of fitting. We've got the stone bench here, which is basically useless in and of itself. We've got the weaver. Please tell me what you are. Spinning wheel. We get there in the end. And we have a blacksmith station, so this is all kind of laid out. I could probably lay this out a little prettier, but to be honest, getting some of these laid out properly in relation to where the bench is a super pain in the ass, and I don't understand why they've decided to do it this way. You should just be free to do it within a certain radius. I don't understand why these are so restricted. I get things like the forge bellows that has to be directly on the flame. I kind of get that one, but the rest of this stuff, like, really? Does it really have to be that silly? Anyway, I've got all of the stuff located here. We've even got a little armor stand, a little bit of flourish here, just to kind of give it a feel of, you know, work in progress or working on stuff. This is the armor that we're working on kind of deal. We've got the regular workbench here, and all of the other bits around that. And again, we've got a bit of flourish here for the Black Forge. Might as well repair it while I'm here. And we've got torches freaking everywhere, because this room gets really dark. The only thing I'm not happy about are these torches here. They're a little bit low. In the previous build, the last build episode I did, build episode 10, I wanted to extend these up, and I completely forgot about it until the end. I'm like, oh, I just can't be bothered anymore. Bugger it. This is our storage chest, and this is the design I always had in mind. So it was basically you could kind of run through and stack everything really quickly. So we've got stuff that's used fairly regularly along here, closest to the benches that we use the most for crafting. The crafting stuff that used to be in the old room over there, the old crafting room, which is over there, is now stored in here. And as you can see, I've completely gutted it. There's almost nothing in here now. Just tidy that up a little bit. There's only a few things in here, and really probably a lot of this stuff could probably go back into its own stash. The only stuff I want to keep is stuff, you know, stuff for crafting the bone bolts, because I still use those as well and kicking around here. But the other stuff could probably be stashed. Then again, I'm working on these. I don't know if I'll work on these two swords. I was going to test them out, but again, for later down the track. We've got the skins. I don't know if you guys remember, there were 2 chests of skins. This has been completely gutted. I've had to use a lot of boar leather to create all of the banners. So, geez, I don't know how many stacks of 50 I burned through. It was a lot. It was a hell of a lot. And I've actually farmed some of that back in the meantime as well. So, it kind of gives you an idea of just how much we use the skins. Components hasn't really changed, although again, you can see it's completely gutted. All of the stuff that was in there, all of the torches have been placed and that sort of stuff. So, there's really only rudimentary stuff. You can see all of the nails. They've been whittled down to almost nothing, and I did actually have to add to the bronze nails, and the iron nails, I think I had to add to those as well. But they've been completely gutted. I've used almost all of those on doing everything up in the base, so that's kind of cool. The ingots have had a boost. So the iron's actually gone down very recently, and that's for a few reasons, but I did have, at one point, like 6 stacks of iron here ready to go. It's taken a little bit of a hit, but I've still got a healthy amount now for everything, so I'm pretty happy with that. In here, we've just got bones, fabric, valuables, which is just all of these. I could probably sell a whole bunch of that stuff. Coins, heaps of coins. Mob drops, which is now double. Obsidian and crystal. A lot of this, there were a few chests which were merged, but beyond that, everything is basically the same. So I did merge the stone into one thing, just to kind of give it some delineation here. And on the other side, we've got trophies. That's a nothing chest. I wasn't quite sure what to put in that one, and I kind of left it that way. The exotics chest and resonance tar, which I merged all into one. Didn't make a lot of sense to have separate chests for all of that. Now, because it is dark... Yeah, because it's dark. Because it's dark, I'm going to cut the footage, and I'll get you to the next room. And, of course, it would have to be foggy, wouldn't it? What a pain in the bum. Oh, well, I guess we can't choose our conditions, can we? And again, maybe I can. Nope, I can't rest it this time, so it's going to have to be a foggy preview. What a pain. This is the main foyer, so we've got the entrance here. the entrance to the base. This comes into the main foyer area here. We've got big flamingo gates. They look so cool when the sun comes up. I hope the sun comes up soon. I'm going to wait here and see if the sun comes up. Okay, well, this fog basically, it's not quitting. So we're just going to push on with the preview, with the interview, with the stuff, with the look at the building. Look at the pretty building. There we go. I do like the way the light catches the door and the windows. It looks super cool. So, this is the entrance. Let's open the doors out a bit. We come into this big foyer area here. And for the glass panes, I decided to add a little bit of wood flourish. So these are basically, not those. Those? Are they those? No, they're definitely not those. They are, god damn it, where are they? There they are. They're basically these, the Ashwood Arch. So I put a couple of these in, I put a frame around the whole thing, and I was able to insert the crystal pieces inside. So it actually covers the wood inside, which I think looks really cool. And as you can see, it catches the light, which also looks really cool. I was pretty happy with that. I was very happy with the way that turned out. As an entrance, it's a little bit barren. This is one of the rooms that didn't get much love. Get boss heads, that is a note for myself. The boss heads are supposed to go up around this area here. As you can see, there's placements for them already, but I just didn't really want to go ahead and do all of that. Just ignore this area here. This was all part of a work in progress, and I'll get to that in a tick. This is the new kitchen. This is the new kitchen. So, completely redone. I've shifted everything. I've moved it all into this corner here, right next to the tower. I've even reduced the number of fire pits here from 3 to 1. Definitely didn't really need that, and I needed the space, really, to condense it all in. Got a little stack of wood here, which is just, you know, for giggles. Everything here, I was pretty happy with the way this all turned out. We've got tables and like cabinets and stuff, and the way it all turned out was really good. I was pretty happy generally with most of it. The only thing I wasn't happy with was the spice rack, which absolutely, positively would not be happy in any other position. Really hated placing the spice rack. It was such a pain in the bum. But there it is, and it kind of worked out okay. So we can still cook at the cauldron, we can cook on the iron cooking station, and this is now our ad hoc stuff, which is full of all of the foods that I'm currently using to sustain myself during this build. No high-powered foods. Now the main stack is here, as you can see, and I have filled in a whole bunch of it, so I've been collecting resources as we go. All of the flour requirements are filled here. You go up there. So it's basically just it's ready to go. All I really need to do is fill up the rest of these. Been slowly getting grapes as we go. All of the produce has gone into a single chest, so that includes everything that we produce ourselves, excluding honey. Honey and jelly have their own separate stash. Then we've got raw meat, which is 2 chests worth. I've condensed those because I've cooked a lot of stuff and eaten it while building this whole thing. It's taken a long time. I couldn't tell you how many hours have gone into this build. I should have actually timed it. All of the offline stuff, I've got no idea. Lots. There's lots. And foraging is all of the other stuff, all of the other bits you can get from the forest floor and all that sort of crap. You know how this works. Let's put some of this away. There we go. There's the other tower there. It's, like I said, it's basically the same as all the rest, so I'm not going to bother going up there to show you. The next area is the bar. This is one of the last areas I did in the previous episode. Do go check that out because I had a lot of fun with this. So this is the bar area, and this will come out onto another area which we'll get to shortly. Here we just have a basic seating arrangement for our patrons. Well, good friends, really. We can just sit at the stall and enjoy a drink and a piece of food while we mull our troubles over. There's a nice fire pit here so that we can get a bit of light in here, a bit of atmosphere. Probably could have gone with something from the ceiling, and maybe I will in the future, but I just wanted a bit of light here. This is the drinks cabinet, and I'm pretty happy with the way this turned out too, although I look at that and that seems a little bit sketchy. I didn't see that before. But basically, I've got a wooden backing on here, and I've used crystal on the back, and that's so that it catches the light. I wanted it to catch the light of this and to reflect off of it so that it amplifies all of the colors of the potions up here. And I think it worked out pretty well. So we've got our low tier potions down here, we've got our mid tiers up here, resistance potions, then we've got our high grade potions up the top. And the lighting on those potions looks really, really cool. I'm really happy with the way this one came out. Again, I could probably do a lot more to spruce it up to make it look really pretty, especially on the top. I could add some stuff, but I think in terms of a first effort, I think that's pretty good. I'm not unimpressed with that one. And in fact, looking at this now, I probably should have added some banners to this area, which I may do in future. We've got all of our fermenters sitting up here on their own special racks. I was considering putting some buckets underneath each one, but they're 10 copper a pop, and so I decided not to in the end. I do have the copper for it, and the fine wood, but I just decided it was a little bit too much for now. Again, maybe I'll flesh that out with detail later, but that would definitely be maybe in the final push for the north. Next area is the outdoor dining area. That's right, you can sit here and lean over and enjoy a drink, which is over here on the railing. This is the outdoor dining area here, and we have grapes. Yes, please. I've got vines all over this place because I want grapes growing everywhere that I can, and I think it adds a bit of personality to the exterior. So we come down here into our massive dining area. It's not massive, it's big enough though. We've got our special drinks table for all of our thirsty patrons who want something other than just your regular mead. And over here we have our regular mead. This is the hearty stout and strong stuff. Here, of course, we have our fire pit. I did actually want to put one of the meat cookers over here as well. I forgot to do that, but that's okay. On each of the tables, we have an array of foods. Each area is, of course, so we've got each of these wooden benches are good for 3 bums. 1, 2, 3. And there is a celebration horn for every single person that sits at this table. No guest is turned away. Food for everyone, drink for everyone. Everyone be merry. I've added some hair stuff down here. Some of the hair mats. Rug. I guess they're going to call it a rug. Not really a rug if it's hair, is it? I mean, that looks like scales. But I've added a couple of those down just to kind of give it a bit more of a flair, make it pop a little bit more. And I've added slightly different foods for both of or different quantities, I should say, for each table. Plus a lava lamp in the center just to light the mood. We've also got some trophies running around the exterior. Ugh, I have to do this bit without showing the other room there. Running around the exterior here. Oh, there's grapes on the corner. Just to kind of give it a little bit more of a hunter personality. Yeah, I do like the way this one came out. More fed. I could probably standardize all of these, but I like the variety. I think it looks cool. I've replaced the gate on the corner here. If you watched all my previous episodes, you know that this used to be a double gate. I've turned it into a single. I just like the look of this door a lot more, and I like the little archway that goes over the top. I could probably flourish that with something else, but personally, I just like the way it is. I like it the way it is. I think it functions perfectly well. I've added some wisp lights around the corners here so that you can navigate your way around at night. It does get dark here at night, so believe me, it does help. And we've got little walkways which lead up into this room here, which I'll get to shortly. Again, this gate used to be a double and it's been replaced. Do we have any more grapes here? I'm going to grab the grapes while I can. But basically, this is the outdoor dining area. A little bit of fluff. Still going with the tarred roof. I do like those shingles. I think they work really well. Yeah, so that's this area here. Now, let's move into... This is supposed to be the showpiece. So... This is the throne room. And I'm pretty happy with the way the throne itself came out. I think this is really cool. As we get closer. Go away, text. Yeah. Framed by flaming skulls, and we've got the fallen Valkyrie skull at the top there. I think that looks really awesome, to be honest. Probably a dragon head may fit the theme better, but the fact that we've got an undead theme going here, I think it works really well. It's backed by a skull wall, which I haven't completed yet. I didn't have enough skulls, believe it or not. If you've seen previous episodes, you know how many skulls I had, and how many bones, I had. And that wasn't enough to complete this wall. So I need more. And this is a little reminder for me that I need another pile of skulls. I only had enough skulls for one pile at the throne here. I need another one here on the other corner, and it's going to complete the look here. And the way that I make this pop, this looks really good at night. I had some blue torches here. They're hiding behind the wall here, and I could probably put them a little bit closer actually, but the idea is that as you walk in, it basically frames the backing so that the chair pops out, so that it sticks out, and it works really well. You can see it from all the way back here. You walk in and you can see that the chair pops out with the white background and the blue washing across it. Looks really cool. I'm really happy with the way that came out. But this was supposed to be a showroom, so I wanted jute carpet running along here. Each of these areas here were for all of the trophies, which I'm too bent out to continue with it, man, so some other time. But these were going to be for all of the regular trophies along each of the walls. There's one here for the Deep North, Ashlands. So all of these areas are designated for trophies, and it is something I want to get to at some point. Maybe I'll take it offline and play with it before doing the Deep North content. I don't know. But for the time being, it lays empty, except for the throne itself. That being said, I'm really happy with the way this came out. This is all of my Brenner skulls too, by the way. This is all of my Brenner trophies. She attacked this base, she, he, them attacked this base so many times while I was building it. I think I had a period of about 4 or 5 attacks, base attacks, consecutively, where it was just Brenner attacking. It was weird. Very weird. She had some sort of vengeance against me, which obviously didn't pan out. Not well for her. Anyway, this is the throne room. Let's move on. Ooh, hello. This is the first time I've seen so many grapes in this area. Normally it doesn't produce. Yes, please. This area here is the Armory. Obviously, we have all of the armor collected so far, all of the weapons up on the walls. We have potions, we have arrows and things, and this chest was going to be for something. I think it was throwables, and I didn't end up putting anything in there, but that's supposed to be for throwables. But all of the stuff that I've got, that I've crafted, all of the stuff that was in chests beforehand is now all stashed here, basically. And if it's not here, it will be somewhere else. And we'll get to that in a second. I put a door here, so that it gives me easy access back out here. I could jump the wall, but come on now. I could jump the wall, but it's just easier to put something in and make it look a bit nicer. This is a little backyard where we can just kind of chill, take in the world. Planted a tree here so that we can just stare at the bark and, I don't know, count how many splinters of bark we can see. Whatever it is Vikings do in their spare time. Again, another tower, not going to go over that. Got all of the wisp torches here. Sorry, the wisp fountains. All collected in the one place so that I can just get everything in one go. Now, this area here, let's get around. This area here is the bedroom. This is the revamped bedroom. Some of the walls are looking a bit spare. I'm not too fussed about that for now. I may add some flourish to that, especially this area here. May put some wooden paneling and stuff on there. Yum yum. But this is the new bedroom. Ooh, that is low on wood. I'll need to top that up. I don't have wood in there. Oh dear. Thought I did. Must have used it all. Anyway, this is the revamped bedroom. I now have the double bed is back. I put the single in here, and I didn't realize that it wasn't an optimal bed, the Ashwood bed. It's smaller. I guess it makes sense. The double is worth more in rested bonus, so I went with that. We've got a little bit of flourish here on the table, just a bit of eye candy. There is, of course, the obligatory chest at the end of the bed with stuff in it, which I probably should sort out and put somewhere at some point. We've got the spa, the outdoor spa here. Just walk out and jump in. Oh yeah, that's the ticket. And all of the current armors and things, all of the current weapons, anything that I potentially want to use at this point in time which hasn't become obsolete, I've got stored up on the walls. So anything which I could potentially want to take into the field is all up here. So I can just, you know, rest at the end of each day, get up, get ready, grab what I need, and then off I go. And we've got a little bit of a table flourish here too. I did actually want to put a gem cutter here, but I didn't have a gem. I needed a bloodstone. Yeah, it was a bloodstone gem. I wanted to put a gem cutter here, like that, but I don't have a bloodstone gem. I've used them in crafting, so just kind of is what it is, I guess. This was the Ida armor, and I think this is the Ask armor, and that's all been fully upgraded. Both of these are fully upgraded. Now, the idea behind the jute curtains, I wanted kind of a complete barrier like this. I ran out of jute. Story of my life. Ran out of everything in this damn build. But you can see where I started here, where it's completely covered. Although I don't actually mind that it's open out here. I think that's kind of cool. You can kind of see outside. So I did think about it, and I am double thinking adding these curtains here. Maybe I'll take them down at some point, because sort of being able to see out, it is kind of cool. I do kind of like that a bit. What else have we got? I think that was basically the final thing. Yeah, I think I've covered off everything. That is the base complete. So as you can see, I played a bit with some of the I haven't got too crazy. Obviously I haven't done anything with this wall. I probably should have. There are a lot of people that have done a lot crazier things than I have. I've seen some of the creations out there. I've watched some videos. Man, there are some really creative people. And my hat's off to you. I didn't do this in creative mode. This was all of the resources had to be sourced naturally. So I had to go out and mine stuff, had to go out and farm stuff. All of this stuff was sourced naturally. None of it was just given to me. I didn't just put it into crafting mode and go nuts, or whatever it's called. Can't remember what it's called. It's not crafting mode, it's something else, I think. But anywho, so all of that was done manually, the old school way. Hence my burnout, but I am incredibly proud of it so far. I think in terms of where it was and where it is now, I'm really happy with the progress. Let's go and put this stuff away real quick like. Come on now. Some semblance of 18. Nice. A lot of grapes. That's a lot of grapes. Okay. I'll take you to the creative build. There'll probably been a lot of people wondering, probably not a lot of people, but I know at least some of you are wondering what the hell it was. Okay, we bright and early, ready to go. Now we need to get to the final base. It's the final countdown. Meow, meow, meow. Meow, 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 meow. Let's get in there. Alright, man, it feels like an absolute age since we've been here. Back at the final base. Let's... Where are we? Lost my bearings now. Been a long time since we've been here, actually. Very long time. Alright. This space here, even though it may not look like it, this was a representation of the castle from Gothic 1 in the old camp. If you remember, if you played Gothic 1, the old camp, this was that castle. And you kind of can't really see it because originally the plan was to convert this whole area into the old camp, basically. So it wasn't, when I said during those episodes, the building episodes, that there was more to come, that this wasn't just the only thing. If you remember the old camp, there was like an entire ring around here, and this was just one building. And that was probably overly ambitious. Definitely so, now that I kind of look at how far we've come. Especially with the current base. Holy hell. This was the entrance. Yeah, the proportions here are way off. I wasn't really happy with the proportions. Would I go back and do it again? I don't know, man. That's a lot of work. A hell of a lot of work. And definitely not going to scratch the itch right now. Anyway, this was the old camp castle. If you walked in and you went to the left, there would be the guard room, basically. So all of these areas here would have armor. These would have armor on them. I was looking for the right armor, which I think would be the leather armor. There were chests here at the end of each of these pillars. These would all be lit. And there was like a little flourish thing on the end. This area here was the kitchen. And I think as far as replicas go, we got a lot of the kitchen pretty well right. There were just a few items which I couldn't add in here. But this area was the kitchen, and then if you went down in here, this area here was like, there was a throne here, there was the dining table over there, and there was like there were a couple of props up here too. It was like some beams and stuff, which I never got around to putting in. But there are some beams here. There's like a center pole here too, I think. Yeah, I think the length of this room, oh, maybe it is about right. It's deceptive. Anyway, so there were a couple of windows here, which I managed to replicate okay. I could probably post some of the pictures. I'm not sure if I still got them, but if I do, I'll see if I can post them up here. And then we go upstairs. There was the balcony right above us. Each of the rooms, so there was a room here. That was a bedroom. These are all bedrooms. There was entrance to a room here, which I think was it Gomez? I'm trying to remember if that was the name of the leader of the old camp. And then in here we had another room. There was actually an exit out here which went into another tower, which I never put in yet. And another room up here. These are all bedrooms, so I never got to do any of that flourish. And now you can, if you understand Gothic 1, you know why the ceiling doesn't really matter. Because up here there was no ceiling. And really up along here, Grouston would probably be the most accurate look, because it's tiled. But by the same token, it's so angular that it's just not feasible. Not really feasible unless you're using small buildings, I think. So anyway, that was supposed to be the castle from Gothic 1. And it is basically this boring on the outside. There are some banners and things flying up on here, and I think there may be a little bit of flourish here or there, especially around the windows. There are some windows up here which needed to be added, but beyond that, that's all it was. Just needed to add some of the interior stuff and we were basically done. But the interior stuff required resources. We didn't have them at the time, and it just was what was. That is the tour, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for all of the people who have watched throughout this whole journey. It's been a hell of a journey. I've really enjoyed Valheim. I've enjoyed seeing what all of the new biomes had and the progression, all that sort of stuff. I've enjoyed all of your comments. Thank you so much for everyone who's taken the time to like, subscribe, comment, all of that fun stuff. It's meant a lot to me, and it's been good to see a lot of people joining the videos, especially after a while too. People see the series and they kind of jump in at the start. I do really enjoy that aspect of it as well. When people discover it and decide to jump in on the ground floor, it is much appreciated. But that is basically farewell to Valheim. We are done here. This is it. Until the Deep North biome finally drops. Until then, I'm not really going to return to Valheim, I don't think. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to when the Deep North drops. We've already pushed north and had a bit of fun up there. So hopefully we're not too far away when the time comes. Until then, Vikings, thank you so much, and Skull.